Hey everyone, so I want to talk about Pokemon cards. Now, I know that this seems like something that has nothing to do with Bitcoin, nothing to do with crypto, nothing to do with anything that has anything to do with those things. But I am here to tell you that there is some kind of connection, and the way that I put this connection together is not my connection at all. I saw this from one of my favorite creators, The Modern Investor. And by the way, I did do a few videos ago about my favorite creators, so you can definitely check that out. He was on there. But he did a video on assets and Pokemon cards, and he made some really, really great points about how to look at Pokemon cards versus these scarce assets in crypto. Okay, so I'm going to talk about it because it's very interesting, believe it or not. So just stick with it. Stick with it. I promise it has some relevance, okay? But before I do get into that, I'm always really bad about introducing the channel. So welcome to Black to Bitcoin, where I discuss the wealth gap and how Black people need Bitcoin desperately for our wealth. Okay, so definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and share. We really need to get the word out. All right, okay, so let me talk about his video. He was talking about pretty much two aspects of Pokemon cards and crypto. And I want to just first say that do not put your nose up on Pokemon cards. I'm going to say this right now. I don't know a whole lot about it, but based on what he's saying, Pokemon cards have been the best performing asset, period, in the time allotted. That's his stance. I'm going to look more into it because the more he talks about it, he has said it in several other videos. The more he talks about it, the more interested I am about learning about it. So I think I am going to dabble. But he says that it is the best performing asset. And I'm not really surprised. I'm not surprised at all because people wait in line for these cards. I actually talked to someone the other day who stood in line at I think Sam's Club. It was one of those big box, stores. He stood there for 4 hours waiting for a collection that came out for Pokemon cards. And that's telling. People love some Pokemon cards. So if you are looking to get into something that's different, collectibles are a thing. We don't talk about them much. I'm going on a tangent. But anyways, we don't talk about them much, and they are great assets. So definitely you can think about looking into Pokemon cards. But the point he was making was twofold. He was talking about news and he was talking about scarcity. And both of these things and how they relate to news and scarcity of crypto, particularly in Bitcoin. So this was the thing he said. He said, when it comes to Pokemon cards, they're exclusive, like they'll do collections, but they print a lot of them, okay? They don't have a set number of how many cards they make every year. He said, and I don't know if I misheard him, but he said something about they print 1 billion cards. And I was like really confused. I'm sharing this information just so you can look into the information as well, because I think it's good for me to share insights on things that I hear and things that I want to learn about as well. But he said something about them printing 1 billion. I think that's what he said. And I'm not quite sure because I know that they are scarce in some way. But the main point he was making with it is that they are not scarce, okay? They are popular, but they are not scarce. And one of the reasons they are valuable is because of their popularity, okay? They're not scarce, but they are popular. And he brought up the fact that if a famous person says something about Pokemon cards, the price automatically jumps. Okay, the different cards and I don't know the like specific ones and all that because they have all these different names for them and stuff. But certain cards and the whole market as a whole grows. It gets bigger and the prices go up. And then he went on to talk about how that applies with everything. All right. So news affects prices. And usually, when there is some kind of good news about a stock, real estate, just the government in general, things go up. The price always goes up. So if you hear that a company is merging with another company, if you hear that they have come up with some new technology that is going to take over the world, you can even think of these AI companies. They are doing really well, and it's because basically AI is taking over the world. So with news, there is a push for more money going in the market. People get excited about it and they buy more of it. Not with crypto. For some reason, and there is a reason, and we're going to get into the reason. For some reason, crypto and Bitcoin in particular is not doing that. So, there's all this news about institutions, governments, companies, banks, colleges, all these people and institutions, even and just regular rich people, right? We don't even have to, just people who have money are accumulating Bitcoin. They are hoarding it. It's in the news all the time. And in a regular scenario, if all of these people came out and said, I want to get stock in this business, that stock would quadruple in no time and it would never go down again to its price. But when it comes to Bitcoin, for some reason, that is not happening. They are announcing it, and instead, the price is staying the same or is going down. So he was making the point that that is very, very suspicious. It's very suspicious, and this is a conversation that is made constantly. It's always out that there is a serious manipulation going on right now. Okay? There is something happening where and okay, this was the other thing. So he was also making the point, and this is the point that I bring up and everybody else, is that for Bitcoin to be so scarce, you have something that there's going to be only 21 million of, period, ever, never can be duplicated. For something to be that scarce and to not be, he thinks it should be 300, 400, 500,000 right now. A lot of people agree with him. The idea is it should be a lot higher. And the fact that Pokemon cards, they can print a ton of them and still go up in price. Same thing with these stocks, like they have all this money, they are producing business, they are doing these things, news is coming, and they are going up in value. So that's the point he was making with the scarcity. But it all comes down to everyone thinking, not everyone, but pretty much a lot of people in crypto feeling that there is manipulation happening and that the powers that be are purposely driving down the price of Bitcoin. And this has been done, okay? Don't think that this is something that can't be happening. This has happened several times. I'm not going into examples and all of that, but if you look at history, you will find that a lot of powers that be, they will rally against, or not rally against, but rally for something. They will take all of it, and then regular people are left with none of it. And that is what is happening. On the other end of it, they can also crash it. Okay, that's the other way. They crash it, they come out with the opposite. Negative news stories. They tell you that, somebody got harassed or someone, messed with somebody in their home for their seed phrase. Like, they will drop these stories and manipulate the market. They even just do it, period. They buy high, they sell low. People think that they are in cahoots with each other, companies, and they're not conspiracy theories because it's happened. It's happened before, and a lot of powers that be, it's not like they're in competition with each other, and they talk in circles, and they know how to manipulate price. All right, and they've done it many times. They've done it with gold. They've done it with other assets. All right, so the main thing he was trying to get across is that people need to wake up. Okay? It's something to be said for people to want to manipulate something so seriously that the price is not going up. They want it all for themselves and they want it to be cheap. So they will try to convince you that you should not have your Bitcoin. And people are giving in. People are falling for it. They are getting all of it. And I think that we need to talk more about it, okay? Because it's a dirty, dirty game, okay? So that being said, make sure that you are looking into all this stuff, really learning the scope of what's going on, learn about Bitcoin altogether, understand what it stands for, all the things that are going to help you make a very educated decision of a very educated decision. I can't talk. On whether it is for you or not. And I think if you do the research, you will realize that it is for you. Okay, so that's all for today. Hope you're having a good one. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and share the video as well. All right, and if you do want to see the video, I am going to put a link below. All right, have a great day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.